Oh, the lighting is worse this way. Put you over here. The reason you can't be in your normal spot is because there's a sander in your normal spot. Let's go over here. That's better. Oh, how is everybody doing? Maybe he's finishing a new YouTube video. I am working on a couple of YouTube videos. The Turning 30 Bowls video is... No, it's not. I was going to say, it's progressing. It isn't. The files are almost where they need to be so that I can produce that video. Oh, this is nonsense. Somebody say maybe he's combing his beard. I should actually just go inside real quick and run a brush through this. This is... Oh, how are the peeps? Waldrop got the Grizzly version of this guy. Probably the same machine. Hey, Fearsom's back. Dr. Ping's back. Who we got? Lajeunesse is here. You got a few of you. Oh, I want to keep working on these tonight, but we'll see. I also don't want to be on my feet anymore today. So there's a conflict there between wanting to keep working on these things and not wanting to be on my feet. Could I sit and sand on them? I could, probably. I'd have to flip it around. Oh, how's everybody doing? Marking knives are progressing, obviously, because they were not in this state last time. CDC Vintage and Mechanical. Kaduk has 3 letters, and so does Ron. Ken. Ron? Bob. Because it's short for Bobbert. What are the cool benefits on Patreon? Well, I mean, other than the warm, fuzzy feeling that you get inside. I mean, that's a pretty cool benefit. The warm, fuzzy feeling that you get inside for helping a normal dude making his way in the world today that takes everything he's got. There are periodic cool benefits over there, depending on what level you're at. Sometimes you get free entries into draws that I do. Sometimes I do exclusive draws for things over there. They always get first access to products that I create. These marking knives that I'm making right now are going to go up for sale to them first. And there's only 10. So who knows how many are going to be left at the end of that. We did if you were a Patreon supporter, you got a bingo sheet that you could check off things that happened during the show and try to get bingo to win a prize. Did that for a while until I grew exhausted of that. If I ever get around to doing like stickers and those little sort of swag type things, they'll be getting those as well. Stuff like that. I don't do as much as I would like to for those people. But they do have advantages. Eric Habakabaka's here. Lajeunesse had a good time in the Dells. Visited the Cave of Mounds and Mr. Horab. I don't know any of these references. Oh, marking knives finally almost completed. That'll be cool to have another project done. I haven't done a ton of projects this year, really, for it being October already. Still have to 2 stringed instruments for that resolution. Refurbish an old tool of some kind was a resolution. Record a song was a resolution. That's probably not going to happen. Maybe. I don't know. I'm probably not going to win resolutions again this year. But I'm going to keep making them because at least they give me a target to not hit. Got to shoot for targets, even if you're going to miss them. Because otherwise you're just shooting into the space. Oh, so the marking knives, the marking knife update. Let's get the marking knife update, name of the show, out of the way. Scales are attached. Pins are in, obviously, if the scales are attached. And they are, literally just before the show, why I was late, by the way, was because I was moving Sander over here in case we feel like actually cleaning up one of these guys. But I was also hacksawing off the leftover pin bits because they did look like that. So I was hacking off the leftover pin bits on a couple of them so that I can go straight to the sander tonight if I want to, if I decide to. Got the was it mate? No, it's Elder box Elder burl stabilized by my friend Paul Waldrop, the purple and green stabilized. And Cocobolo are the 2 options. There are going to be only 2 of the Cocobolos and 8 of the stabilized burl guys. So 3 of them have their pins hacked off and are ready for final shaping and sanding and finish. And the other 7 still need to get their pins chopped off before they can go through that process. But I'm like maybe a couple hours, maybe 2 hours away from having the whole batch done. That'll be nice to have another project done. I don't know if I feel like it tonight, though, honestly. Stupid old man back hurting and complaining about the world and want to be off my feet, worked all day. Saturday is always a crazy day at the shop. That's why the show moved back to Saturday. It's because I knew that after Saturday was done at the shop, I was gonna need to be sitting out in the garage having decompression beers. So why not turn on the show? But it does have the unfortunate side effect of making me not make as many things on the show anymore because it's just hard to keep the energy level up after a full day of that. Tim Mallon's here, working on some chisel and gouge sharpening, so I'll chat more when my fingers aren't dirty. Fair enough. Fair enough. I need to do some... we talked about how I don't sharpen often enough, just in general. I don't think people in general sharpen often enough. I need to do like an afternoon sharpening marathon on chisels and plane irons and turning tools and just get everything tuned back up. But it's so boring. Like, I know I need to do it. It's like the tool maintenance type stuff. Like, do you really want to spend all afternoon in the shop, like, making sure that all your tools, like the belts are tight and the blades are sharp or new, or to turn the cutter heads on your jointer, your segmented things, and lube things if they need lubing. And I guess it's just boring work. I don't have fun doing that. I'd rather be making things dull than making them sharp. But eventually, shit gets so dull that it doesn't work properly and it's actually dangerous and it hinders your work performance. And so I gotta do an afternoon at some point relatively soon of just like plain irons, at least a plain irons chisels. Just plain irons and chisels would be fine. The Wolverine jig is getting set up this coming week. It has to, like it actually is going to, because it has to, because I need to bring it down to the shop next Sunday for bowl turning class. Vineyard Farmhouse. Brian's back. I was on Brian's show on Wednesday. Brian does a show, and I was on a panel. He does a panel of people. Their community is super nice. The homesteading community, they're really nice folks over there, and they're nice to each other. It's weird. I felt really out of place because on my show, like, we make fun of each other and are sometimes kind of mean in a good-natured, fun kind of way. But like they're all super nice and complimenting each other the whole time and stuff. And also, like, I'm a woodworker. I'm not a homesteader, so I felt a little bit duck out of water. Is that a phrase? Fish out of water. Water off a duck's back. Fish out of water. I felt a little bit like, is it cool if I'm here? Like, I make things out of wood. I don't build fences and houses and run irrigation lines and stuff. Actually, we usually just make fun of you. I make fun of you guys at least as much as you make fun of me. Like, let's be honest. All enjoyed talking to me. I appreciate it. It was fun. It was fun. I'm not a homesteader either. I'm a commercial farmer, but I like to build and make stuff. Well, there's a lot of farmy type people there. Like, homesteaders are farmers. So in a way, you are a homesteader. If you live on a farm, I would say that you count. I thought for sure I'd set up my Wolverine jig before you. Mine is sitting next to the fireplace, and grinder stand is plywood leaning against the table saw. I am gonna win then, because I would guess Tuesday is probably my day for that. Are you from Canada or the USA? I am on the west coast of Canada on an island called Vancouver Island. Yeah, I'm basically almost as far west as you can get in North America until you get to Alaska. I guess Alaska juts out further than us. I'm not a farmer, but I played one on Farmville. I did not. I have a small crop of hardy radishes in a little plot of land in Legends of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I'm growing some hardy radishes. I only waited one day before setting up my Wolverine jig. La-ti-da. Look at Mr. Lajeunesse getting his stuff in the mail and then, like, putting it to work. He thinks that makes him better than me. That's what he thinks. He might not be wrong. Vanelle's here, but only 14 minutes late. That's better than average. I can't freehand for shit. See, that's honestly the main reason I haven't set it up is because I don't really have a problem just putting a fresh edge on a gouge and getting back to work. And I don't sharpen often enough. It's a combination of those two things. What is the nearest fjord-like cliffs over the ocean? Fjord-like cliffs. I like that terminology. Saw a bunch driving up to Whistler. We got, I don't know if I would call them fjord-type cliffs. Cliffs? Fjord, that's tough to say. Fjord-type cliffs. We have some glaciers and mountainous areas like right there. Mount Washington is a fairly large mountain, or well, it's popular. It's like a resort kind of joint that's like 20 minutes up the road. What's the nearest fjord-like cliffs? I like that. Depends what you mean by that. Oh, I don't know, guys. We'll see. I'm really enjoying sitting on my ass. But I would also really enjoy getting these shaped down and sanded, at least just one of them, so that you can see what you're in for here if you buy one of these bad boys. Did you ever raise up your grinder? Nope. Sure didn't. I was gonna build like a riser. I was actually gonna build like a little cabinet for it to sit on so that it's up a little higher. Might still one day. I don't know. What finish are you going to do on the knives? Hadn't thought that far ahead, to be honest. Might just custom liquid wax. Get it on there, get the buffing wheel going, and guess you had a mix of beach and landings and ocean cliffs. When you get inlets of cliffs facing each other's, it's a fjord, I think. Yeah, well, a fjord, I think technically is it's the river valley that meets it's a river valley that meets the ocean, I think. We have many of those. I don't know. I know a lot of things. I don't know the actual definition of a fjord. But yeah, we have channels where rivers come down and meet the ocean. The Campbell River, in fact, my community is called Campbell River. The river it's named after is the Campbell River, and it has relatively steep cliff type sides in some areas. I still want to talk to you about lathes. I want to talk to you about lathes as well, my friend. You have to start, like I said on the show, you start by defining a budget, because the more you spend, the more you want to spend, the better I'm going to be able to make your options. My MIDI lathe, my Laguna 1216, was around $1,000. If you want to be in that ballpark, I would happily recommend you the Laguna 1216. It's currently on sale for 10% off. All Laguna machinery currently, I believe, is on for 10% off. If you're looking at that new bandsaw, you're thinking about getting the 14BX or something, now might be a good time to do that. If you want a Laguna lathe, now might be a good time to do that. What's their Supermax? Is that they Laguna buy Supermax? That's their drum sander, I think. I don't know if that's included in the Laguna machinery sale. what I did see was beautiful and very different from around here. Yeah, British Columbia is kind of ridiculously pretty. Should have told the people in my live when you are live. Yeah, there was a lot going on, man. When you get 6 people up on the screen, there's a lot going on. Can't remember to do everything. I also need to be better at marketing myself. I should remember, like, if I'm going on one of these other people's shows, I should probably make a point of, like, mentioning some things like when I go live. Beer. But if they subscribe to my channel and they hit that notification button, they would know that I'm live. Buddy approached me about trading a Laguna 1836 for my 1216 and 14BX. He wants your 1216 and your 14BX for his 1836? No. No. That's not a deal. Well, you can't take that. Supermax is their drum set. I thought it was. Would like a drum sander one day. Wouldn't use it a lot, but man, when I use it, when I would use it, it would be super handy. It's a huge lathe. Would have to put it in my garage. Well, yeah, but then you'd lose your good ass bandsaw. Like, that's one of the best bandsaws on the market in that size. You'd lose your MIDI lathe and your really nice bandsaw for a big ass, really nice lathe. Like, that's not a good trade. Because you'd have to go out and buy a new bandsaw, and you probably would go out and buy another 14BX. Like, you got the 18BX now? Oh, so maybe it's a better deal than I thought it was. I had forgot or didn't know that you have an 18BX. Well, you got a 14BX and an 18BX? I still don't quite. I think you'd have to throw in some cash. Or an old dirt bike or something. Like, there would have to be, I think there would have to be something else involved in that trade. An old dirt bike. Why an old dirt bike? I don't know. I think there would have to be something else. See guys in small single car garage shops that sneak a drum sander under the table saw or outfeed table. Yeah, unfortunately, my outfeed table is my workbench. Under the wing of my table saw isn't really accessible, like, to pull things in and out of. It's not really accessible. If I was more organized, it might be. Well, 735 planer and drum sander under benches on low carts. Yeah, you can make small spaces work better than I do. For sure. You gotta be organized though, and I'm not awesome at that. Yes, you should, but I can't say much because I'm bad at marketing myself too. Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's hard, man. It's like, you know that you're supposed to play the game, but it's hard when you don't enjoy the game. Like, people who enjoy playing the YouTube game obviously are going to be better at it. I don't like that game. I don't enjoy it, and so I'm bad at it, and I just have to be okay with that. I have a Supermax 1938 in my 160 square foot shop. See, this is another example. Everybody just thinking, like, saying that they're better than me. Like, they just come here and they just, like, talk about how much better than me they are. I just realized my dick is like full on in view this show. That's cool. In case you're unfamiliar with my dick, this my friend Scott Grant down in Australia, Custom Creations by Scott. He saw me using my awl to put marks like dicks and stuff, and I was like, oh, I'll just put a little dick over here, and I'll put a little dick over here to start my drill press or start my drill bit in and whatever. And so he made me a dick, like an actual, like full on. Because he thought it would be funny, and he was right. Oh, I just put big tools on wheels. Yeah, I like the idea of everything being mobile in a shop, but I like the practicality. It's not really all that practical. I like having everything just in its place, ready to go when I flick a switch and go to that spot. Like I really don't actually like that my planer lives under this wing of my bench and I have to pull it out to use it. That's about the only one that is, though. It's about the only tool that is like you got to pull it out. You got to make the effort to get it out when you want to use it. I have negative room. No, you don't. Because that's physically impossible. When I build something, I put it in the garage and stack what was there on top of my nuke. You can't have negative room. Like, by definition, it would be like inside a black hole maybe is negative room. It's folded inside out or something. I don't know. Jury's still out on what's going on inside a black hole. Hey, it's Shop Towel Guy. William Smith from North Carolina. His favorite color is Scott Shop Towels. Oh, these are going to be really nice. Quantum physics is my shop. It is a black hole. A lot of people, I think, could make that claim. Sometimes I feel that way as well. What did I find not that long ago? Oh, my sketchbook that we did last week. We went through my sketchbook, and I was like, this has been missing for 2 years. It was in my shop. So that tells you. I just wiped my hands with a nice blue Scott Shop towel. They're good. It's a good paper towel. I buy them by the 10 roll at Costco. How do things go with Beaver? No movement. I still I'm terrible. I need to just send them a 20-second video of me saying this is what's wrong with the thing, and I stripped this screw because it was so tight, and upload it to their server or whatever. Or send it to them by WeTransfer or nonsense. That's a hassle. That is a hassle to go through. It doesn't sound like a hassle, and maybe a lot of people wouldn't consider it a hassle, but I think that's a hassle. That's a hoop to jump through in order to I explained to them what the problem was, pretty concisely and accurately. I mean, I guess I could just be lying, but who would ask to return a physical product, lie about what's wrong with it, and then return it for a new one? And then you're gonna find out if I'm lying to you when I send it back. I wasn't even like, I wasn't asking for a refund. I was asking for a new, like a properly constructed one of these, please. Bailey Woodworks. Welcome back, my friend. Bailey's pretty good at YouTube. He actually posts, like, makes videos regularly. I used to. I mean, once you do a couple hundred of them, like every week, it wears you down. It wears you down when you don't have like a production team doing it all yourself. One a week for, I think I was like one a week for like 2.5 years. I think I averaged one a week for about at least 100 weeks in a row. Did I miss the Viver answer? There's no movement on the Viver thing. I am being a curmudgeon about having to jump through their hoops to get a new chuck. I don't think I should have to, and I keep putting it off. Be like, okay, well, I'll get to that eventually, or I won't, and I'll just be stuck with this paperweight. Mrs. Wooden Things and Stuff doesn't help with your videos. That's hilarious. If I say, hey Pam, do you want to come out and work the camera, or like learn how to do video editing or something like that, she'd be like, are you mental? Like, I don't even own a gun, let alone many guns, which would necessitate an entire rack. April 2020 was my first video. One or more each week since, and one or more arguments from my wife as well. Are you also retired? Do you have an employment? Because if I stopped doing my job and had an extra 3 days a week, I only work 3 days a week, which is pretty nice. But he's not James Wright. Who's not James Wright? I mean, I'm not. You're right. If you're talking about me, Matthias's wife helps him with his videos sometimes. I don't even understand how that dude is married. He's got a lot of money, I guess. That makes sense. My wife seldom sets foot in my shop. My wife comes into the shop sometimes because she's looking for a tool that she needs to do something. So like she'll come and get the drill or a screwdriver or something that she needs. But yeah, not very often. She certainly doesn't do work in here. She'll like I said, she'll come get the drill if she's installing a shelf or something somewhere in the house. And I'm not home to fetch it for her. No, only 52, full-time job, and I manage a group of 30 teens, and I make videos for multiple channels. Again, these fucking people just coming here and telling me how much better than me they are. I don't sleep much, and I make crappy videos. Yeah, I mean, I do enjoy my sleep. I gotta say, I do take advantage of sleep. I think sleep is really important. There have been times in my life where I did not sleep properly, and I don't let that happen anymore. Like I take advantage of every moment I can that I can sleep. I will do that. My house is falling apart though. It's the arguments from my wife. Yeah, I don't let my house fall apart. I neglect yard work, but I don't let my house fall apart. I am missing a little piece of siding up at the top of a peak. A little piece of the is it PVC siding? Came off in a windstorm and blew away, and I don't know where it went, and I don't know how to go about getting just one piece and then scribing it in. I don't know enough about fixing siding. Sleeping is fun. It is. It's really good for you. Beat me to the yard comment. My yard is one thing. The house, yard. Houses are always trying to fall apart. Oh, hold on. I got to turn off. I got to bzz. We'll go down. Go over here to the do not disturb. Sorry. I'll check out whatever that was after. Houses are always trying to fall apart. It happens so fast. Yeah, it's true. Like every time you turn around, there's something. There's something. A faucet or... I haven't had, thankfully, I shouldn't say it out loud. But thankfully, since we bought 7 years ago, we haven't had any major things. Like we haven't had to replace any major. We've replaced a couple of relatively major things, but it's not because they've gone out. Like we replaced the fridge and dishwasher and stuff like that. But we haven't had to do any like the hot water tank or the heater or anything to the physical structure, like the building envelope, other than that piece of siding that we got to do eventually. We've done some flooring, but it wasn't like the flooring failed, so we needed to replace the flooring. It was like, we want laminate here. And some like faucets and things like that, but nothing super major. Hey, Paul's giving me, what are you giving me money for? Wrecked. Is that for the siding? He's pitching in on my siding replacement. If you do replace the siding, make sure you have video of it, because falling off a ladder. Yeah, it is in a kind of an awkward place to get to. Because you're tired? I am tired. Are they? We're all tired. And I just talked about how like I take full advantage of sleep every chance I get. I'm still tired. Wait till you do siding and find out what 7 years of water intrusion does. Well, it's only been that it hasn't been missing for 7 years. We've had that. We bought 7 years ago. The piece of siding I think was last winter, maybe the winter before. And it's right up under the I know what that's called. Hold on. The overhang over where the roof comes down and overhangs the house. That is called, I know what that's called. Soffit? Soffit. That's what it's called. Like it's like right the top piece of siding underneath the soffit. I think it'll be okay. I mean, yeah, it's not ideal, but I don't think it's getting a ton. And it's on the west facing side of the house. And most of our weather tends to blow, if it's raining and stuff, it kind of blows easterly. It's not entirely accurate, but the overhangy thingy. No, I think it's called a soffit. Oh yeah, Bailey set up here, soffit. Well, the soffit is like, is the soffit the stuff that you put into that section? Doesn't matter. You know what I'm talking about. It's like the top piece of siding above under the overhang. Funny story, my son always thought when I said soffit, I was talking about an outside faucet. Soffit. Yeah. Yeah, I guess I can get that. Underside. The fascia is the vertical edge facing out. Yeah, the fascia is like the wood trim that we've got on the front edge of the house. The soffit is, I think, is the distance between the fascia and the wall, the vertical wall. I don't know. Soffit is the underside of an overhang. The peak of a facing overhang is a gable. The peak of a facing overhang? I don't know. I can't picture what the peak of a facing overhang is. Oh, like if you have like sort of like a little bump out area in your roof where there's like a window or something, is like a little chic kind of deal. I'm not explaining it well. I think I know what you mean. Maybe I don't, because it's like an upside down V. Oh, yeah. It's the little that comes out of a roof where there's a room, and then the roof, and then there's the, yeah, okay. If it's vinyl siding, it should just snap in. Reverse a chop saw blade when you cut it. I don't have a chop saw, but can you just buy like one, like, I don't even know, 4-foot section of siding? I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I'll look into it eventually, probably. Like the Weaver chuck. Eventually, I might get around to looking into that. Should do the siding piece though, because this is my like major investment. Michael's. Come on, everybody! Let's learn how to replace this piece of siding on my fascia soffit gable. Let's go. Typically longer than that, but available at any big box. Just go down to Home Depot and just grab a strip. Okay. I'm gonna have to cut it though, like, cause it's the top of the. It goes like this, and then whatever. It's not that big a deal. I can cut things. I have many tools. Pliers stable hand. That pliers stable hand tool for the last piece of siding at the top was super nice. I had no idea how people did that, since you can't screw it in up there or it's cut short. You're talking gibberish. I don't know what any of that means. Found a new wood supplier this week. Black walnut, $9 a board foot. That's American dollars. So let's say 12 instead of 25. Yeah. Got swamp ash mahogany. Going to look at his stuff tomorrow. Yeah, that sounds. If he's less than half price on walnut, this sounds like a good place to be going. Can cut vinyl siding with tin snips. Is it PVC or vinyl, Brian? I don't know, my friend. I don't know enough about siding. It's plasticky. Feels like plastic. Does that help? Beer. I mean, I guess we could go look at it. Come on. You guys. You guys seem to know more about this stuff than I do. It's the piece right up there, right at the top under that is the piece that I'm talking about. I guess it's longer than 4. It's probably like 6 feet long. And it's this stuff. If this is going to help you, I don't know. It's like squidgy. And it feels like plastic. And it's, see what I mean about it being sort of an awkward place to get to? But yeah, eventually. That's a thing that I need to do. That house looks a lot like your house. It's true. It's true. Fun seeing 2 time zones over. It's been dark here for an hour and a half. Yeah, we're not, obviously we're not dark yet. Is there backing board? I don't know. I don't know what that means. We've established that I don't know what I'm doing in terms of like that type of work on the house, right? What color is that? It's white. It's probably like an off-white, but it's white. What's covering the hole? It looks like almost like a tar paper type stuff. More than likely vinyl, and you can get it at Home Depot or Lowe's. Just cover it with duct tape and paint it white. It's high enough. No, it's not a terrible idea. I just like, yeah. I just get it. I just cut a piece of tarp out that shape and paint it white. Yeah, it's a good point. I could just do that. Linen is their popular almost white too. Home Depot, linen colored vinyl siding. Quotes, linen, vinyl. I'm sure like if I go into Home Depot and I look at the siding, I'm pretty sure I'll be able to just match it up. Like knowing what I know about my house. Honestly, I'm not sure how I'm going to get to it. It's in a very awkward place. Do you have a piece you can take in for comparison? No. Can I just take a piece off my house and bring it in for comparison and then put it back on? Or no? Is that doesn't sound like something I want to do. It feels like it's just sort of like click together type stuff though. Like I don't know that it's actually, it doesn't feel like it's actually attached to the house. Like can't wait for the old man falls off ladder video. Well, I can't wait for you to use the right weight in your sentences. It's pitch black over at 9:38. We might be pitch black at 9:38 as well. But it's only 7:38. 6:38. Looks like you can climb to the peak, lay over the edge, and put it on. Is that something I want to do? I don't know if I'd be able to like reach down and over underneath that far. The soffits are probably 2 feet. and it's a fairly steep roof on the over the top of that. That doesn't sound like a thing that I want to do. Old man falls off ladder and lands on a scale. Rent a long ladder. That's probably the right answer. Is just rent a really long ladder and just do it right from the front yard. Buy an $8 sliding hook tool. Save your fingers. I'm gonna look into. I could watch some YouTube videos on how to replace a piece of vinyl siding on your house. Go to Home Depot, find the one that matches, close enough, and I'll make a YouTube video of me trying to figure out how to do that, and probably rent a long ass ladder. It would be a really long ladder. That's gotta be on the tangent. It's not a tangent. On that from the front yard to that peak has to be 50 feet. Pretty close. Put it on a long pole, get a nail gun, and charge the neighborhood kids to get shots at it. Make it a fun neighborhood kid game. I have a small child. Well, he's not that small anymore. But like I could rig up some kind of pulley system where he's on a rope, like harness situation, and I can like feed him up there with a pulley and he can get it in. Physics. No, long ass ladder is probably right. Till your wife finds out. Don't tell her. God. She'll just be like, oh, thank you so much for replacing the vinyl siding, or for replacing that piece of siding. And I'll be like, shut up, Sven. You're welcome. Be like, I replaced the vinyl siding today. Shh. Just feed him $20. Like, let's do one of these. Come on, let's get this. It's gonna be loud noises. Gonna be loud noises, but let's see if we can get one of these at least closer to done so that we can get a general idea of what it's gonna look like. Loud noises. When you don't have the right attachment for your vac to attach to the sander, it doesn't really do a great job at dust collection. It does some. It absolutely does some, but it doesn't do great. This is reverse thread. I always have to like check the. I think it was this one. I don't remember which one I did it with. Damn it, I should have left one raw, because now I can't tell which. Obviously it wasn't this one, because it doesn't have a tube, or it doesn't have a... Maybe it was just this guy. We shall see. Whatever. We'll do it with that one anyway. No noises. Oh, getting close. Then we'll do a little bit like this. No noises again. Oh, that's really annoying light on behind me there. there. Well, okay, that's not, obviously it's not fully done. Let's, come on. Yeah, round some more things over and it's gonna get sanded better than that. But I just wanted to get it to a point where we could like put some beer on it and have a look at it. Put some beer on it. Little fingy divots. Bloop bloop. Right in there. Obviously everything will be all nicely rounded over and stuff, but let's look at this nonsense that is the Box Elder Burl. I got, yeah. Let's do the YouTube shot. Is ready? Yeah, that is a pretty thing. Once it's like fully sanded up and everything's all rounded over and it is going to be comfy. And those finky divots, or I mean for me, probably what I'll do in terms of like softening all the edges, I'll probably put like my soft 3-inch or 2-inch pad up on the lathe and like just with like a 220 grit and just do the whole thing with the 220 on the soft pad thing over on the lathe and get everything nice and comfy. But damn, it's an attractive marking implement already. I mean, I knew it was gonna be. I don't know why I'm acting surprised. I'm not really acting surprised. But it's good. Those are gonna be cool. Let's close up my Varsol instead of just sitting here giving myself cancer. Yeah, and it's a relatively quick process to get through the rest of it. I'll just do the belt part on all of them and then swap it over to the fingy divot part on all of them and over to the lathe for the soft pad rounding over softening bit for all of them and then finish. I'll be happy to unbox and test one of those if you want to send me one. I need to sell these for money, unfortunately. These I need to sell for money. I need to recoup the cost of the calendar. Um, the calendar debacle, the 2022, I guess, technically, calendar debacle. If I sell all of these at $50 each, I break even on the calendar debacle. I think, minus the cost of the knife blanks themselves. I sold a couple of calendars. I roughly break even. If I sell all 10, no, I can't sell all 10. I need one. If I sell 9 of these at $50 each, I have recouped the expense of the calendars. Ish. That's gonna be a nice knife. I am going to be a happy, proud owner of one of these. I don't know about you guys, but if you would like to, for sure, be able to get your hands on one of these, you should head over to patreon.com/wooden things and stuff. Because as soon as they're done, they're going up there on offer for those guys first. I'd be happy to send it back after testing. Shouldn't take more than 2 or 3 years to test. Tell you what, you can rent one for $50 for 3 years. I'll rent you one of these for 3 years for a low price of only $50. No Tyler Peterson tonight? Question mark. No Tyler Peterson tonight. He is geeking it up playing Dungeons and Dragons tonight. I'm in the market for a good set of wood chisels. I have some that my dad probably inherited from my grandpa. I have no idea what a good brand of chisel would be. It's going to be a price point. How much do you want to invest in how many chisels? I'm happy with my Nerex chisels. I know that I could get better chisels than that, but in terms of the value for price, the Nerex ones are okay for me. I got the whole, I don't remember, 7-piece set for somewhere in the neighborhood of $150, something like that. Nerex ones over there. Nerex also makes a higher end. The Nerex Richter line is a higher end steel. If price was no object, I probably would get a set of PMV 11 Veritas chisels. Based on how much I enjoy the PMV 11 in a hand plane, that steel would make a very, very nice chisel. Rebecca touched by yarn. I got a homesteader. Rebecca makes beautiful, beautiful knitted hats. I'm a little bit jealous of Brian's new Santa hat. Gotta say, it looks really nice. I don't think I even found out where most of the people were during that show. Like, you guys are spread out all over the place. Rebecca, where are you in terms of your location? I mean, not where are you in your house, but like Wisconsin kind of thing. Bailey, Fearsome, Matt's saying I can recommend Veritas. Then anything Narex is great. You spoil yourselves. They have the Richter Narex. Says, see. There we go. See, we're on the same page. Me and Matt are on the same page. I'm looking on Amazon, and they have 10-piece sets for $20, and it. No, spend. I think, like I said, I think I got that 7-piece. Go to Lee Valley. Go to Lee Valley and look at their chisels. They sell the Narex ones. No. Tim's saying no. To what? Lee Valley? There are a lot of people that want that hat. I bet. It's super nice. Missouri. I don't have any. I don't think I have any Missourites. Let's figure out what it should be, and then you can tell us what it actually is. Missourian, probably. But some of those states have weird ones, like Michiganders is a weird one. Missourite? Missouri. I think it's probably Missourian. Never buy the $20 Amazon set. Oh, that's what you were saying no to. Yeah. That's go to a reputable tool dealer and realize that you're probably getting what you pay for in that case. If you go to Lee Valley, if you go to Garrett Wade, if you go to, Lee Nielsen apparently makes a good chisel as well. Figure out what you want to spend. Figure out what you want to use them for. If you just need a 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, 1 inch, if you only need a 3-piece set, go over to Lee Valley, get the Veritas PMV 11s, and spend $100 a chisel on them, and you're good for the rest of your life. They're probably not $100 a chisel. I might be exaggerating, but they could be at this point. Rebecca Touched by Yarn is here. I know, we were already talking. Pay attention, Brian. We've been having a whole long conversation. Lowe's had a set of Irwin for $49 US. Irwin Marples. This is my first 1/4 inch chisel. There's an Irwin Marples. It's just fine. It's just fine. It's not an amazing chisel. There's nothing wrong with it. I don't use it anymore for things other than like getting glue out of corners, because I have a full set of better ones. But don't bother with the like crappy Stanleys. These are just glue chisels at this point as well. Sorry, I had to leave for a little bit. Oh, okay. Come in here and tell me who's here. Mine is a crap Stanley. But yeah, I understand. The Veritas are only $40 each for the PMV 11s? Shit, just go do that. Get a 1/4, 1/2, 1 inch at $40 a piece. Probably all you'll need. $120 for the last 3 chisels you'll ever buy. That would be where I would come in, probably. But if you want the full set of, you want a full set of 7 that all are matchy, and you don't want to break the bank, those Narex ones are okay. Paid $320 for my 5-piece Fujikawa set. La-ti-da, Mr. Paul Waltrip with his fancy Fujikawa chisel. How many little divots they got in the back of those guys? Did you get the 2 divot or the 3 divot? Beer. Love Japanese tools. I love any tools that are made with love. Like when they're made by a person putting physical effort into making the tool. Yeah. If you want the best, capital, all caps, best paint can openers, go to Ashley Isles or Blue Spruce. I've heard some things about Blue Spruce since they got sold. Didn't we have this argument one time, or not argument, discussion one time before? About whether it was Blue Spruce or somebody else that got, no, because Blue Spruce got sold to like Benchcrafted or somebody good. Anyway, I've heard tell that Blue Spruce has actually gone downhill quite a bit. Chisels and gouges are mostly English or American and over 100 years old. It's probably some good steel. Blue Spruce is owned by woodpeckers. See, I thought they were somebody good. Why did they go all in terms of like people's opinions of their chisels? I mean, everybody acknowledges that they're still beautiful, but there's been quite a bit of discussion about the quality of their steel for their chisels the last little while. I don't know, a couple of years. And I guess they used to be sort of like the top tier. You're spending the money, but it's worth it. But apparently these days, not so much. I don't know. It's all hearsay. I have no firsthand information about this. I only can tell you what I can only tell you what I've heard other people say in terms of this particular discussion. Get some 1095 or 5160 steel and forge your own chisels. Yeah, slackers. Bunch of slackers not forging your own chisels out of raw steel. If we were over in the homesteading community right now, that's what they'd be talking about. I got a buddy down in Courtenay who made this guy for me. Who I could go make a chisel with probably. I don't know if he does chisel. He does a lot of knives, but Woodpeckers released a video on how they're made. Looks nice. My Wood River set needed a lot of back flattening. Well, yeah. Because Wood River, let's be honest with ourselves, is cheap Chinese garbage. This is not, I have no firsthand knowledge of this. The general consensus, I think the overarching opinion, I can't say with experience. Blue Spruce owner now sells DJDM, Dave Jeske, design maker. He sells a new saw. Hold on. Will make any of his original stuff if you pay him enough. Probably. Everybody will do that. Are you ready for winter? Who, me? Canuck? I mean, we don't really get, I mean, we get winter, but in terms of Canada, winter, we got it the best. We'll get about a week of snow at some point in December, and we'll get another week of snow at some point in February. And it'll rain a fair bit from end of October through to March. It'll rain. And then we'll get a dump of snow when it gets cold enough for about a week. It'll stick around for about a week and it'll go away, and then we'll get another one in February and it'll go away. Well, I live in the best place. Beaver has a set of chisels. Yeah, they probably do. And they are probably made in the same factory where the Wood River ones are. Why are you being so mean to Wood River? Too late now. Already bought them. Sell them to some schlub. Don't. No, be a good person and don't pass them on to anybody else. Bite the bullet, and you take a loss on that one. I'm probably gonna end up doing on the Beaver truck. Like, well, my bad. I have a half quart of wood getting delivered next weekend. It's supposed to be colder than normal this winter. Well, even if it's colder than normal, we might get 2 weeks instead of 1. I'm pretty happy. I grew up in Saskatchewan out in the prairies. So, this is like paradise in terms of winter. Lee Valley is running YouTube ads featuring a buy once slogan. Because that's what you do at Lee Valley. You buy stuff once. And then you never have to buy another one of those things. Because they're high quality, A. And if they crap out on you or whatever, there's a defect or whatever, they just give you a new one. I could knock this hand plane off the wall right now. I could literally reach up and just push it off the shelf and smash it on the ground and call them up and be like, I need a new low angle jack plane. Mine fell off the shelf. And they'd be like, send it back. We'll get you a new one. Maybe I don't have to sharpen my blades. On the Veritas ones anyway, I can just send them back and get a new one. Come pre-honed and everything. Don't do that. If it's made in China, you buy it 25 times. Yeah, I mean, it's 25 times cheaper though. Some people are okay with spending 25 times less, I guess. It's not a good math, but I'm very sleepy. Good night, everyone. Bye, Rekka. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate you stopping by. Got my Rikon lathe fixed. Called them about the speed control, and they sent me a new control right away without any problems. I've never heard people complain about Rikon's customer service. I've never had to use Rikon's customer service, so that's good. But I don't think I've ever heard anybody say oh, boo, Rikon customer service. I'm happy that I've never had to call them for anything or email them for anything or whatever, anything for anything. You know what I mean. All right, who's buying a marking knife? Show of hands. $50. Plus shipping. I'm not taking the hit on shipping. If there are any left, after the patrons over on Patreon get a hold of them. I want to do another wipey wipe, but there. Ooh. Ooh. Stabilized box elder burl. I gotta sell 9 of them to break even on the calendars. Come on, peeps. They didn't even ask for proof of purchase, just the SN of the link. See, that's how customer service should be. Not like these Viver assholes that are like, would you send us a video of the problem and we'll consider sending you a replacement upon returning of the product? No. Like, that's Thunderstruck Homestead. I got 2 homesteaders from my appearance on the Wednesday Brian show. Right on. Hey, man. How are you? Had good talks tonight. We're talking about chisel recommendations. I'm making a set of marking knives. I talked about the marking knives on the show on Wednesday, but box elder burl stabilized marking knives that I'm making right now that we talked about on the show are one step closer to being finished. And yeah, the wood is nice. Craftsmanship is questionable. It's true. Did you see how willy-nilly I was with the sander there? No, they're going to be great. Called them on Monday, had the part on Wednesday. Damn. Yeah, that's good customer service, that is. Still got to buy that dice box. Just keep forgetting. I'll patron up again for a year to get a knife. I can't math that up, but you can just Patreon for a month at what would be like $70, or you can Patreon at $3, so you get in on like the pre-order essentially, and then just drop Patreon again the month after that once you've had the opportunity to buy your knife. No, don't do that. Doing good. Hope you're good. I am good. I'm doing okay. Had a pretty rough, emotional morning. Didn't sleep all that well, and then I have some like mental health struggles, so sometimes my emotions get wonky, and so I had a little bit of that this morning, which may probably help today be more exhausting than it should have been. But yeah, overall pretty good. They're homesteading your channel. Oh, they're coming in here homesteading up my channel. Chicken coop is up already. Let's plant tomatoes. Some of them might have been trying to help me with my siding situation that I got going on. I don't know. No, that was my regular guys who are just better at that kind of stuff than me. Are you allowed to ship weapons via international mail? It's a woodworking tool, so I mean, I'll declare it as such when I ship it. I don't foresee it being a problem. I'm not going to call it a knife. I'll call it woodworking marking tool or something like that. Have to work tomorrow. I should call it a night. Yeah. Hey, you guys duck in and out whenever it is that you need to do it. Aren't you retired? Well, he's probably doing shop work. Maybe he's actually going to get back on that lathe. Well, I'll forget I'm even on Patreon. Sometimes I forget I'm on Patreon. I'm just letting the money build up over there, and like I like that I forget. No, I don't. I do stuff over on Patreon, and I kind of forget that it's like making me money, and then like once every year and a half, I like cash it out and buy a tool. It's awesome. Thunderstick's in here now. We already had a conversation. Brian is not good at paying attention. He keeps pointing out people who I've already been holding conversations with. Semi-retired, still have to work some. I need to turn the water off to a set of business buildings, and no one is there. Okay. Hey, Bennett's here too. Right on. I'm like, Brian, I want an intro lathe. Any recommendations? I need a price point. I need you to give me a window of how much you want to spend, because my recommendations are going to vary based on what's your budget. Like if you say like I want an intro lathe and I can spend up to $1,500, that's a different conversation than I would like an intro lathe and I've got $347. Sorry, I'm trying to multitask. Your focus should be right here. I should be the most important thing in your life right now, Brian. Yes and no. Blade length matters sometimes. Warriors and Wonders is a big knife dealer in Canada. They can't ship. It's over 2.5. But this is only a 2-inch blade. So we good. It's a marking tool. If they're single-edged, there's a good chance they may be released. Less so for double-edged unless a client can put a very convincing argument to customs. That's a single edge, right? It's like it's double beveled this way, but it's single edge, like it's not edged on. I don't know. $500 to $1,000. Right now, as of right now, I believe for the next, it might be all of October. Sometimes they're month-long sales. Laguna does a 10% off sale, not once a year, but they're thereabouts. And their Laguna 1216 is my permanent go-to lathe. And I believe its MSRP is $1,000, and at 10% off, you're looking at $900. If you can put $1,000 towards a lathe, that's where I would be. That's, in my opinion, that is the best bang for your buck $1,000 lathe. I have not tried all of the lathes, full disclosure. I don't have a ton of experience with all of the lathes in that window, but based on my research and knowledge and the discussion groups and things that I'm in, yeah, the Jet 12 something is a popular MIDI lathe. A lot of people like it as a starting place. I like the Laguna 1216 as a starting place that you could live forever. It's entirely possible that's the only lathe that I ever buy. Because if I don't get a bigger shop, I don't have room for a bigger lathe, and that will be the lathe that I'll work on. $900 lathe, and then budget $3,000 for chisels and accessories over time. Yeah, $1,000 for a lathe. Let's say $250 for the last chuck you'll ever buy. Get a couple of decent turning tools for $150. Under $2,000, all things considered, to get like a really good foothold into turning with everything you'll need to go for quite some time. That's kind of what I want. A one and done, but not a Gucci. Yeah, that's, I think I'm happy 2 years later with my purchase and have no plans to go away from there. And at $1,000, it's paid, like, it paid for itself within 6 months. You really have to decide how big a wood you're turning. It's true. What do you want to make? Variable speeds? Well, I would never get one that is not variable speed in some way, whether it's at least like a dial or belt. I mean, I wouldn't want to have 3 set speeds. I would absolutely want a variable speed lathe. I think it would be one of my top must-haves. I mean, throw height, is that what it's even called? Over the bed. Then spindle length. No, I mean, for me, it would be the height over the bed, which for me is 12, then variable speed, then spindle length, I think would be like the order of priority for me. Wen has a turning tool set for $50. You're going to get good at sharpening, probably, at a set made out of that quality steel. You're going to learn how to sharpen real quick, because those are going to get dull pretty quickly, would be my guess. Nothing wrong with sharpening all the time. I don't like to do that. I like pew-pews, and I always dump more into them after I buy them. Turning, you need a package of things. Like, you could buy the lathe, but you can't cut anything unless you have the sharp thing that sticks into the wood when it's spinning. And then you need something to hold the spinning wood, and then you need something to this and yeah. But I would say, even if you're looking at the 1216 Laguna for $1,000, 15 hundy, and you're off to the races, with including tools and chuck and nice planes back there. I've got a few nice ones. I got a few not so nice ones, but yeah, I'm happy with the progression of my plane collection at this point. I have goals for it, but I'm in a pretty good place in terms of the ones that I currently want and use frequently. And I like tools and old tools. I like old tools that are nice. I like old quality tools. I got these two top planes right there. Are both Type 6 Stanley hand planes, so they were made in approximately 1888. Approximately 1888. I think Type 6 goes from 1888 to 1892. And they are two of my favorite planes. Chuck is $150-ish. Carbide set from Rockler is $99 on sale. Parting tool for $40. So yeah, I'm correct. You're still under 1500. And you add a bolt gouge to that, and a grinder, and a Wolverine jig. You're still under 16, I think. But you can go as deep as you want. Or you can stay in the shallow end and just play. And that's great too. I got some old axe blades, but not too many old. And like you said, nice. Yeah. Yeah. Got a grinder and grinding wheel. Okay, so you're all set for the grinder. You're good there. 1/2-inch bowl gouge, 3-piece carbide turning tools from Rockler for honey. 1-way Talon as your chuck. Your Laguna 1216. You're at $1,400 ish. I could have my boy Pinnell spreadsheet it out for you. If he's still here. I don't even know if he's still here. I haven't seen him say anything for a while. My friend Pinnell, who likes spreadsheets, can draw you up a spreadsheet of what I just said out loud. Because I'm not going to, I'll be honest with you. CBN wheel for 120 for the Wolverine, a CBN for 120. You can go as deep or as shallow as you want. You don't need a CBN wheel. It's awesome. You don't need one. Chainsaw question mark? Yeah, if you want free wood, I mean, free wood and then spend that in labor. I would rather just buy wood and not have to spend processing labor and time and machinery. But however you want to do it. And neighbors with trees. There you go. And city parks. And we'll do one more beer. We'll do one more beer. We'll keep it under 2 hours. And then in the next couple of days, I am going to finish the rest of these marking knives. I'm going to finish the marking knives because even this one isn't done yet. I'll finish the marking knives, get the Wolverine jig set up for bowl turning class next weekend, and get back to working on actual YouTube video releases. Because theoretically, I could have 3. After I finish the knives, I could have 3 videos out in the next 3 weeks. Theoretically. I won't. Because we've met me. But I could. 30 bowls. 30 ash. What did we decide I was going to name that show? 30 bowls from one big ash board. Something like that. I got that one. The marking knives. The Rockler carbide tip turning tools. Yay or nay. Tool review. Are all almost ready to go. Bought a carving disc for my ankle grinder today. Hey, sweet. Using the flappy discs for carving. Try. What kind of carving disc did you get? I've got a Sabertooth. I just found it again the other day and remembered I have it. And still never tried it. I have a Sabertooth medium grit red guy. You make sheaths for the marking knives. Let's just slow our roll here. Like I'm barely making the marking knife. No, I would love to make little leather sheaths for them, but I'm not going to go that far about it. they would be way better. You're right. The thought that you have in your head is way better. That they would be cooler with a little leather. Like this guy, this little leather sheath that is for, where is it? I lost. Hey, where is it? It's not on the floor. This knife is on the floor. I have a handmade marking knife that goes in this sheath, and I don't know where it is, and that's gonna bother me. But yeah, that would be cool. We're actually, it's going back. Gotta get my harvest videos out, and then I'm gonna start doing small project videos. Sweet. We're actually in the middle of harvest right now. They picked 2 days. Probably have 3 more days left. 4-inch steel coarse Bauer brand. I don't know what that is in reference to. Oh, the carving disc. Sorry. It's like it's too many conversations happening. Okay, cool. Bauer, I think, is like Harbor Freight's one of Harbor Freight's home brands, right? It's fine if we can secure it tightly in the thing that's spinning, doesn't matter. I have your same sentiment when people ask about axe sheaths. Yeah, they would be cooler if they had a sheath, but damn, it's a lot of extra work. Lots of little teeth like a cheese grater. Yeah, no, yeah, okay, so I know what you're talking about. Mine is more like the burrs on like a, what's that tool called? Die grinder bit. They're more like that. Let's see. Right. As long as you just don't get that chainsaw one. The Lancelot, whatever. Use my new marking knife that is not even done yet. This one's like these kind of teeth. I'm looking forward to trying this out at some point. He's been talking about marking knives for a month and just almost finished the first one tonight. It's because handcrafted quality, artisanal, started to say artisan, boutique. How many more buzzwords can I get in here? Handcrafted artisanal boutique marking knife. Okay. A month is nothing. You know, you take the love and care that has been put into the product. Also, shut up. When I think safety, I think Harbor Freight. 10,000 RPM. It'll be fine. Put your shield on. You got a turning mask, right? You got it. Yeah, you're good. All while working 3 whole days a week. Recognize. Working at my job, my employment job, 3 days a week. And then the other 4 days a week. No, lies. Monday these days is pretty much dedicated to sleep and Zelda and band practice most weeks. Monday is kind of like me. Mondays for me, 3 days at the shop, 3 days working around the house here in various capacities. Sunday is kind of usually a half-assing kind of family day. Half-assing family day. No, it's family day. Monday's me day. So I guess that really only leaves me 2. Bespoke artisan handcrafted marking knives from stabilized double dyed stabilized box elder burl. Come on, that's pretty good. Double dyed stabilized box elder burl handcrafted bespoke artisanal marking knife. That should be the title of the video release. That's a lot of keywords in there. Making a bespoke artisanal handcrafted marking knife out of double dyed stabilized box elder burl. That is a hell of a YouTube title right there. With sheath. You can make them, Thunderstick. I'll send you the dimensions. I just need a little mini sheath like this big. You can make me. I need 10, and I will pay you $4 each for them. We're good. Limited run of 10. Technically 9, because I get one. And two people, if they like, can choose Cocobolo. DIY, hashtag DIY, hashtag refurbished, hashtag junk pallet, hashtag maker, hashtag tool review, hashtag Minecraft, hashtag Roblox, hashtag Mr. What's his face? Beast. Hashtag Mr. Beast. Hashtag prank video. I was thinking about sending you an email, honestly. About what? Everybody can send me emails whenever they want. Oh, about sheaths? You want to make little sheaths for my little marking knives? That'd be cool. We'd have to figure out a way to make it financially viable for you to make them. Because you making them and sending them to me to then send to who bought them sounds like you would add at least $15 per knife just in shipping for the sheath to get to me and then to whoever. Yeah, I mean, fire me an email if you want. We can get into the discussion, but it feels. Where are you, Thunderstick? It feels like it might not be a great use of your time in terms of the rate of return on that. Just like logistically, I can't see it making sense for you to make sheaths to send to me to add to the knife to sell. Maybe. Can I say I don't give a sheath about marking knife sheaths? Yes. Yeah. Like I said, I've got a marking knife sheath on my shelf right there, and I don't know where that marking knife is. I did I did really like having it on there when it lived right here on the shelf, but based on your accent, I mean, you're in North Carolina? Yeah, see, that's, I mean, even if you made 10 sheaths, it would probably still cost you $30 to send them to me. And I don't know if I could justify another $20 on top of the cost of the thing, the marking knife, for it to have a leather sheath. And you would be making them for too cheap to make it worth it. Just thinking it through in my head. But yeah, I mean, everybody's free to send me emails about whatever you want. woodandthingsandstuff@gmail.com. Or you can contact me. My patrons over at patreon.com/woodandthingsandstuff can talk to me over there all the time. Free access. Well, it's not free access. You've paid to access me. But no, I totally agree with your price estimation. Yeah, I think that's going to be a tough. Do you want to pay yourself $1 an hour to be making little leather sheaths? I don't want you to be paying yourself $1 an hour to make little leather sheaths. I'm into if you're Matt's into leather work. It's fun. Often the best thing I give to friends when they need something. Little leather things like wallets. Like, what kind of leather stuff do you make? I don't want to get into another thing. I have too many things that I am into, and I think leatherworking, I would rather outsource leatherworking than get into leatherworking and find out I really like it, and now I don't paint anymore because it, or whatever, you know. Still might want one of those marking knives. They are going to be $50 each plus shipping. So probably if you're in North Carolina, I would imagine you're looking at about $50 American after shipping, give or take. So $50 Canadian plus shipping, probably about 75-ish Canadian dollars to go to most places in the States, which is probably just north of $50 for you guys. And they will be offered first to my people on Patreon. And if they leave any for the rest of the general public, they will be going up for sale thereafter. Only $599. Yeah, right? The little leather sheath. You can buy the knife is $50, but you can get a leather sheath from my friend down in North Carolina. I mean, that isn't a... You could probably mail those individually in just like a standard envelope. Maybe if we could figure out a way for you to make them, if you bought one, you could make a leather sheath for them, then you know how to make the leather sheath for this particular knife, and then you could sell them as an add-on to people, could come through you, and it would cut back at least on the shipping in 2 direction situation. And maybe you could get away with selling a sheath for the Mike's Wood and Things and Stuff marking knife at a realistic price, maybe, hypothetically. Did you ever try mead? I did not, in fact, ever try mead. It's a passing phase. I thought that I was maybe going to want to try mead, but I think I only wanted to try mead because I thought it would be cool and easy to make. Like, I can make my own booze out of honey. That sounds rad. I got over it pretty quick in terms of like the idea. Just get like spatial requirements for like all the racking and stuff. It's just like, nah, I don't really, that's not a thing that I thought it was going to be rad, and then I like actually came down to earth and was like, you don't have a space for that. And that would take up some of your limited space that you already have, like pretty committed. That was kind of my thought, like a partnership where they buy direct from me, you send them my way first. Yeah. There, see now we're fire me an email. We'll figure it out. You buy a knife, you make a sheath to fit it, because the idea is that I'm gonna do a limited edition run of these marking knives every year out of a different wood, and they'll have a certificate of authenticity and like hand sign situation that, like, this is number 4 of 10 for the 2024 edition kind of thing. And if they had a place to get a cool sheath for it, there are going to be people who are going to do that, probably. Yeah, next year, maybe figured walnut or canary wood. That's what I'm going to do with that gorgeous ass piece of canary wood that I've been wondering for the past. I bought it because it was too beautiful to not purchase, but I've just put it aside because it's also too beautiful to use. The 2024 limited edition Mike's Wooden Things and Stuff marking gauge is the canary wood edition. Maple, I got some nice flamey maple too. It's a good point. Bear with. I still have a bunch. Speaking of awesome maple for knife handles, if you've seen my video on making these knives, there are these knife scales. I still have a ton of this figured maple stuff. Like, this is a small piece. I have a bunch of this. Maybe that's the 2024 edition. Why does Mike's all look like a male appendage? If you came on time, we already talked about that. My buddy Scott from Custom Creations down in Australia was watching my videos, and I was going, I'm just going to take my awl and I'm going to put a little dick right here, and I'm going to put a little dick over here to just get my drill bit started, give me a center point. And so he made me a dick out of kind of like this stuff. And he sent this to me, and I appreciate it all the time. And he made it because he thought that would be funny, and he was correct. Have I worked with melted milk bottle caps or bottle caps? What? Have I worked with melted milk bottle caps or bottle caps? I'm gonna go with no. How do you melt milk? It's already a liquid. It only looks like a male appendage if yours is that small. Shut up. It's not what's important. Okay. Means have I worked with plastic? Not so much. I do some epoxy work, a little bit of like resin pouring type stuff, but not bottles and bottle caps and melt. Oh, I see what you're talking about. Have I ever worked with like melted down plastic? No, I don't think that I want to deal with the smell of that and the hassle of processing that. I really, really enjoy working with wood. I don't even really like working with epoxy that much. It's sticky and messy and inconvenient. Wood is warm and homey and earthy. It brings us a connection to the planet. Like there's, Lord knows what's in that plastic. That's another good point. I don't know. Channel called Burl's Art made a guitar out of plastic trash from the ocean. I tried to run an art project. It's the right way to say it. I tried to run a collaborative community art project that involved creating art out of beach cleanup material. I ran into ethical problems, not in terms of the beach cleanup side of things, but in terms of the people handling the refuse and the safety concerns around, like you said, who knows what's in this, and is it super bad for people? And yeah, I thought it would be a really cool idea, but I don't like plastic in general. One reason I won't buy a Veritas saw. Understandable. The black on a Veritas dovetail carcass saw is metal, cast ductile iron. No, it absolutely is not. No, it's absolutely plastic. If that's metal, there's like, I'll give you a 10% chance that this stuff right here is any sort of metal. Oh shit, maybe. No. It's the hardest plastic that you'll find on a saw, but it is. I don't believe you. Whoever it is that says that they're actually metal, cast ductile iron. I don't think so. I don't think so. Those Chinese saws are great. These are not Chinese saws. These saws are made in Laval, Quebec, Canada, I believe. Suppose we could have just asked Veritas. We absolutely could. They're a pretty transparent organization. A lot of their stuff is made in Ottawa itself. Really, Sean? I thought like their main manufacturing plant was in. I don't know why I'm thinking Laval. I may just be inventing that, but feels like made in Canada or assembled in Canada. They say made in Canada. I have not gone to the plant and watched them do the whole process, but it is their claim. They bought a whole bunch of buildings and turned them into manufacturing in Ottawa. That's cool. Should do one more beer. You guys want to keep hanging out? We can hang out. They may do it in other cities as well, but I know people who work for Veritas making stuff. Have they seen a forge in the manufacturing plant? Like, do they make their own plate steel, like right from ore right through to saw? And I kind of somehow doubt that, but their saws are not their highest quality item. But oh damn, it's both. Okay, Matt's on it. Hold on. Stainless steel powder for weight, glass fiber for stiffness, and advanced polymer binder. So it's the polymer binder that I'm feeling with my thumbnail. Glass fiber for stiffness and stainless steel powder to add the weight. That's cool. I like that. Fever sells a forge. Oh, that hit the spot. That was well done. Fiberglass and a polymer resin binder ensures good balance and control. Yeah. They're a relatively high quality handsaw. They're like, I think a few weeks ago we were talking about like, if I could only buy a saw from one company, it would be Bad Axe. If I had to replace all of my hand saws with saws from one company, it would be Bad Axe. But these are a perfectly good place to be in terms of little hand saws. I think it's where I cut my first dovetail ever with this guy, and it's right here. It's pretty good. I've got the dovetail, the cross cut, the rip cut, tenon saws from Veritas. Got a Japanese couple of gents, a razor saw. I got the one Bad Axe up at the top. So 3 of, I don't know, 8, 9 of my hand saws are from Veritas. One more beer, and then we'll call it. I thought probably they felt cold to touch and not scratch. Put my first one through hell, and it looks nice still. See, I just assumed that they were just a really hard plastic because to me they weren't cold to the touch when the ambient air temperature told me they should be if they were metal. We learned something. Come here to learn, everybody. Hold on. that's what I have to say about that. All right. Maybe not one more beer. Maybe we'll call it there. People are seeming to taper off in terms of engagement and how interested they are in having conversations. Unless I stop streaming, and I don't know that. No, it's still counting. I think I can probably be done tonight too. We did almost get to the finishing line on this first of the marking knives. Like I said, I'll run this through the rest of the process. I'll run all of them through the rest of the process. First crack at those will be at patreon.com/woodenthingsandstuff. Whatever's left over after they get their hands on them will go out to the general public. I may or may not have a sheath connection in North Carolina. And we'll call this one for tonight. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe, everybody. What's in the box? What box? What box? What's in your box? What's in the box? Hey, everybody. I want to throw out a quick congratulations to my boy, Mikey B. 2 weeks ago, we didn't jam last week, but 2 weeks ago, in jam night, he figured out how to play drums, my friends. Like, dude was absolutely killing it. For those of you who don't know, he's the drummer in my quote unquote band. It's just like three of us that jam in the garage. And he plays drums. And 2 weeks ago, he was the strongest link in that chain for sure. That box over there. What box over there? Be pointing over there. That's my tool cabinet. What box are you talking about? The box up in right there? That box? That's Tyler Peterson's router plane. You're going to need to be more specific. Use your words. And we're out of time. So you fire me a message on Facebook and tell me what box you're talking about. I'll tell you what's in it. Again, stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe. Thank you, everybody, for coming. We'll see you next week when these marking knives will be done. The Wolverine jig will be set up. And maybe we'll turn something. Be sure to let y'all down next time. Maybe. The funniest part was at the beginning of the night. He was like, guys, I'm not really feeling it. Like, I don't think I'm going to be of any use tonight. And he just absolutely annihilated everything. Just. Bye, everybody. We'll see you next week for some other shenanigans.